Imagine this. You wake up on a quiet morning. No alarm clock. No boss. Just peace. You pour your coffee, sit near a window, and think, now what? Retirement is supposed to be the reward for a lifetime of hard work. Yet many people accidentally carry old habits into this new chapter. Habits that steal joy, drain energy, and block meaningful connection with family. So if you are over 60, or if you have a parent over 60, here are important habits to let go. Not because life is ending, but because a better chapter is beginning. Let's start. When someone says, "I'm too old for this," it often has nothing to do with age. It is usually fear hiding behind a polite sentence. Fear of looking silly. Fear of failing. Fear of starting something new when the world expects you to slow down. But life does not follow a schedule. Joy has no age limit. Think back to moments earlier in life when you tried something for the first time. You probably did not know what you were doing. You just took a step and figured the rest out. That confidence does not disappear after 60. Sometimes it just gets buried under routine, responsibility, and habits built from years of putting others first. Imagine a scene. A 70-year-old man watches his granddaughter learn to ride a bike. She falls twice, laughs, and gets back on. He smiles, but inside he thinks, "I used to be like that. I should not try anything new anymore." What he forgets is that courage never belonged to youth. It belonged to a mindset. When we tell ourselves we are too old, we shrink our world. We trade the curiosity of life for predictable comfort. Comfort feels safe, but nothing grows there. A fresh hobby or adventure does not need to be big. You do not have to climb a mountain or travel across the world. It can be something simple. Learning to make a new recipe. Joining a community class. Trying a new app that helps you video call family. Even learning how to take better photos on your phone. These small steps are not about the activity. They are about proving to yourself that new chapters are still possible. There is a quiet happiness that comes from doing something just because it sparks interest. It keeps the mind active. It keeps stories alive. It gives grandchildren a moment to say, "Wow, look what grandma learned." Moments like that strengthen family bonds. Age becomes a bridge, not a barrier. The next time that little voice whispers you are too old, try replacing it with a different thought. Why not me? You are not too old. You are seasoned. You carry skills, wisdom, patience, and depth that younger people do not have yet. You know how to handle stress. You know how to laugh at mistakes. Those are superpowers. Life after 60 is not meant to be a slow fade. It is meant to be a shift. A time to rediscover the parts of yourself that got set aside while you were busy taking care of everyone else. Curiosity keeps the mind young. New experiences keep the spirit awake. Age does not stop you. Fear does. And fear listens to your words. Choose the words that open the door. When we look in the mirror, the mind often jumps back in time. We picture who we were in our 30s. Maybe the waist was smaller, the skin smoother, the hair thicker. It is easy to fall into comparison and think something is wrong now. But the truth is, your body did not deteriorate. It evolved. Every change represents evidence of living, working, sacrificing, and loving. Your body is a diary that remembers everything. Late nights holding a crying baby while everyone else slept. Years of rushing to jobs, caring for aging parents, keeping a household running. The body carried you through grief, joy, and every ordinary day in between. Those soft areas, those wrinkles, those stretches, they are not flaws. They are the stamps of a life that has been fully lived. Think of a treasured family album. There may be bends, faded corners, or old tape, but every mark adds meaning. You would never throw out a photo because the edges are worn. In the same way, you do not need to judge your body because it shows your seasons. You have earned every line. You also carry a quiet strength now that you did not have at 30. Back then, you might have cared more about how you looked. Today, you know what truly matters, feeling well enough to enjoy moments with people you love. A walk with a grandchild, dancing in the kitchen during dinner, sitting outside watching the sunset. The body you have now allows these things. Try noticing what your body can do instead of what it no longer looks like. It may still lift groceries. It may let you swim slowly, or garden, or take morning walks. Even resting peacefully is a gift many people never get to experience. When you shift the focus from appearance to function, gratitude replaces judgment. There is also something powerful about giving yourself permission to care for your body without trying to rewind time. Nourishing food, gentle movement, better sleep. These are not punishments. They are acts of respect. You are not trying to return to who you were. You are supporting who you are now. Your body is not a problem to be fixed. It is a companion that has walked through every chapter. When you look at yourself and think, I should look like I did at 30, think of everything you would have to erase to get there. The wisdom. The memories. The people you have cared for. Growing older is not losing something. It is gaining perspective, depth, and freedom. The body you have today is not a lesser version. It is the version that has carried your history. It deserves kindness. It deserves appreciation. And most of all, it deserves peace. There comes a point in life when closets, drawers, and storage boxes begin to hold more history than purpose. Many of us keep things because letting go feels like losing a part of ourselves. We say, I might need this someday, even when that someday has not arrived in 10 or 20 years. Over time, a home can become filled with items that are not really serving the present. They silently take up space, energy, and attention. Think about the boxes stacked in a basement or a spare room. Old clothes that do not fit anymore. Kitchen gadgets that felt exciting when purchased but are now buried behind newer ones. Paper records kept for decades because they seemed important at the time. At first, holding on feels responsible. But eventually, it becomes heavy. Holding on to things keeps us emotionally tied to old seasons of life rather than the chapter we are living today. Imagine walking into a room that has been cleared and organized. There is space on the shelf. There is breathing room. You can see everything you own. That feeling of lightness is not just physical, it is emotional. When the environment is calm, the mind feels calm. It is easier to think, easier to rest, easier to enjoy the present moment. Many people over 60 worry about letting go because certain items are tied to memories. The birthday card from a child, a wedding gift from decades ago, souvenirs from a family trip. The fear is that without the item, the memory will fade. But memories do not live in objects. They live in conversations, photographs, stories, and the way an experience shaped who you became. A helpful thought is to consider the people who will eventually go through your belongings. Your children or grandchildren love you deeply. They cherish your stories, your voice, your presence. They do not want the burden of sorting through decades of things that meant something only to you. What they will treasure most are a few meaningful items with clear memories attached. A letter you wrote. A photo labeled with names and the year it was taken. Something simple that tells a story. There is freedom in choosing what stays and what goes. Letting go allows room for new memories, new experiences, and new energy. It also allows the home to become a place that reflects who you are today, not just who you were 50 years ago. Releasing items is not throwing away your past. It is honoring your present. It is choosing space over clutter, peace over storage, and memories over objects. When you free your surroundings, you free your mind. Many people who reach their 60s grew up in a time when expressing emotions was seen as weakness. You were taught to stay strong, keep the peace, not complain, and push your feelings down for the sake of family harmony. That habit becomes automatic. Even when something hurts, you say nothing. You don't want to be a burden. You don't want to sound dramatic. You don't want conflict. But staying silent doesn't protect relationships. It quietly damages them. Imagine you invite your adult son to visit. He cancels at the last minute because he is busy. You tell him it's fine, even though you were looking forward to that time. Inside, you feel disappointed, maybe even ignored. You stay quiet to avoid being needy. He assumes you didn't mind and continues the pattern. Without knowing it, both sides drift apart. Feelings don't disappear just because they are unspoken. They build up. When hurt is not shared, resentment fills the empty space. Over time, silence becomes a wall. Family members feel distance but don't know why. They feel something changed, but they can't name it. Speaking up is not about blaming others. It's about letting people understand you. Think of emotional honesty as building a bridge. When you say, "I missed you today. Spending time with you matters to me," you're not complaining. You're inviting connection. You are saying, "You are important in my life." Communication shifts relationships from guessing to understanding. Many seniors say they don't want to cause trouble. The truth is, people who love you want to know what you feel. They want to show up for you. They can't do that if you hide your needs. When you express feelings early, the conversation is simple and gentle. When you hold everything in for years, emotions can explode in ways that feel hurtful or confusing. Your voice matters. Your needs are valid. Speaking honestly does not push people away. It brings them closer. Imagine your adult daughter talking to her own children someday. She says, "Your grandfather always told me what he felt. He taught me that emotions are not something to fear." That kind of legacy is priceless. Your honesty can teach the younger generation that communication is love, not conflict. When something hurts, speak with clarity and calm. Not to win. Not to prove. But to connect. Emotional openness lets the people you love see the full you. Not the silent, guarded version. You deserve to be heard. You deserve relationships built on understanding, not assumption. Silence protects no one. Openness creates closeness. Putting off small financial decisions may seem harmless in the moment. You think, "I'll review those bills next week, or file organize the paperwork when I have more time." Days turn into months, and that invisible pile of decisions grows heavier. Not because each decision is complicated, but because they sit in your mind like unfinished business. The emotional weight of delay often feels heavier than the decision itself. Many people assume financial planning only involves big steps like selling a house or changing investments. In reality, most financial stress comes from small, ignored tasks. A subscription that renews without being used. An insurance policy that no one has looked at in years. A credit card automatically charging for something you forgot about. Each one seems minor, yet together they slowly drain money and energy. Imagine sitting at the kitchen table with a cup of tea. You finally open the drawer filled with random envelopes, receipts, and statements. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you take just one item at a time. You cancel a membership you never use. You update one outdated document. You write down where an important paper is stored so your family can find it. None of these actions change everything at once, but they create clarity. Clarity removes stress. Delayed decisions often show up later as confusion for family members. Adult children want to help but do not know where anything is located. They worry about making the wrong choice because they don't know your preferences. When you handle small decisions now, you remove the mystery later. It becomes easier for you, and easier for them. Think of financial decisions as housekeeping for your future. When the small things are handled, you free mental space for what really matters: time with grandkids, hobbies you enjoy, visits with friends, slow mornings. You spend less time worrying and more time living. There is also peace in talking with the people you trust. A simple conversation like, "Here is how I prefer to manage my bills," or "These are the accounts that matter," can prevent future confusion. You are not being dramatic by discussing these things. You are being thoughtful. Small decisions shape quality of life more than big decisions. You do not need to become a financial expert. You just need to stay aware. Every time you take care of one small task, you are creating a smoother path for your future self. You are also giving your family clarity instead of questions. Taking action today is not about control. It is about peace. Each small decision says, my life deserves simplicity. My time deserves ease. Many people reach their 60s carrying the belief that independence means doing everything alone. Throughout life, you might have been the fixer, the provider, the dependable one who handled everything without asking for help. That habit becomes a silent rule: if I don't do it myself, I'm failing. But independence has a different meaning in this chapter of life. Independence is not isolation. It is choosing when to accept support so you have more energy for the things that matter. Imagine carrying 2 grocery bags up the stairs. You manage it, but your hands shake a little. A neighbor offers help, and you automatically answer, "No, I'm fine." Later, when you settle into the chair with aching wrists, you think, why didn't I just say yes? Pride may win in the moment, but comfort and connection lose. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of relationship. People feel closer to you when they get to contribute. When you allow someone to assist you, you're giving them a gift. You're allowing them to show care. You're inviting connection. Think back to times when someone you loved trusted you enough to ask for help. You probably felt honored. Loved, even. The same is true now, you just happen to be on the receiving side. There is also a deeper truth. Doing everything alone becomes exhausting, not heroic. It drains joy from daily life. It takes away energy that could be spent laughing with grandkids, calling a friend, or enjoying a peaceful morning. Allowing help doesn't take away your independence. It preserves your strength for what matters. Sometimes the hardest part of accepting help is not the task itself, but the fear of being a burden. But the people in your life don't see you as a burden. They see you as someone who has always given, always supported, always shown up. They want the chance to return that love. When you let family participate in your life, you create moments of closeness. Even asking your daughter to show you how to use a new app becomes a shared memory. Even asking a neighbor to lift something heavy becomes an opportunity for conversation. You are allowed to set things down. You are allowed to say, "Can you give me a hand with this?" You are allowed to receive. When you accept help, you gain more than convenience. You gain connection. You gain time. You gain space to enjoy the parts of life that bring meaning, peace, and joy. You carried others for years. Let someone carry a little of the weight with you now. It doesn't make you less capable. It makes life lighter. Joy is not something that appears in the future. It is something we choose in small moments. But too many people spend years saying, "One day. One day I'll take that trip. One day I'll start that hobby. One day I'll visit that friend." Without noticing it, one day turns into never, and time quietly slips away. Postponing joy usually starts with good intentions. You want to be practical, responsible, careful. Maybe you grew up in a generation where fun came after work. Play only happened when every chore was done. You learned to put yourself last, and over time, you forgot how to put yourself anywhere else. But retirement is not a waiting room. It's a green light. Imagine a cabinet full of beautiful dishes that only come out on special occasions. They have stories behind them. A wedding gift, a milestone, something treasured. Meanwhile, on ordinary days, you use plain old plates and walk right past the things that bring you happiness. What if every day became the special occasion? What if you brewed your morning tea and drank it from the good cup, not because a holiday demanded it, but because your life deserves small celebrations? Joy does not need to be extravagant. It doesn't require plane tickets or big spending. Sometimes joy is eating ice cream for breakfast with your grandchild because it makes them laugh. It might be taking a spontaneous walk while the weather is nice instead of waiting for permission from your to-do list. It could be playing a favorite song from decades ago and dancing in the living room even if no one is watching. The heart grows lighter when it is allowed to play. There is a story many people can relate to. A couple saved their entire lives for a dream vacation. They waited for the perfect moment, thinking there would be a magical window of time when life would slow down. But before they could go, one of them became too ill to travel. That vacation never happened. The pictures stayed in the brochure. The joy stayed postponed. The lesson is not to live recklessly. It is to recognize that joy doesn't have to wait. The present moment is not an inconvenience. It is the only moment guaranteed. Joy has many forms. Sometimes it's peace. Sometimes it's silliness. Sometimes it's rest. The key is to notice what makes your heart feel awake and let yourself have it without needing a reason. If you think you need to earn joy, you don't. If you think joy must be deserved, it doesn't. Joy is not a reward. It is nourishment. Your life is happening now. Your joy should too. Life after 60 is not an ending. It is a second chance to live with intention. If any of these resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. What is one habit you want to release this year? Your story might inspire someone else. And if you enjoy videos about relationships, family bonding, and making retirement meaningful, tap the subscribe button. See you in the next one.